This is your host, Danny, and this is Usage Tips from English Plus Podcast. In today's episode, we're going to talk about the difference between classic and classical. Now let's start with classic. Classic can be used as an adjective. A classic example of something has all the features or characteristics which you expect something of its kind to have. For example, this statement was a classic illustration of British politeness, or it is a classic example of the principle of less is more. Classic is also used to describe films or books which are judged to be of outstanding quality. For example, we say one of the classic works of the Hollywood cinema, or Burnon's classic analysis of Spanish history. But that's not everything about classic. Classic can also be used as a noun. A classic is a book which is well known and thought to be of a high literary standard. For example, we had all the standard classics at home. And by saying that, we're talking about books, classics as books that are of a high literary standard. Classics is the study of the ancient Greek and Roman civilizations, especially their languages, literature, and philosophy. But that is always used as classics, like mathematics or physics. So that is classics. For example, she obtained a first-class degree in classics. So that was about classic. What about classical? Classical is different. Classical music is music written by composers such as Mozart and Beethoven. Music of this kind is often complex in form and is considered by many people to have lasting value. For example, I spend a lot of time reading and listening to classical music. We can talk about classical pianists. Classical is also used to refer to things connected with ancient Greek or Roman civilization. For example, we say classical mythology. Truffles have been savored as a delicacy since classical times. So, that is the difference between classic and classical. I hope you learned something you didn't know about before. Another day, another usage tip. This is your host, Danny. Thank you very much for listening. I will see you next time.